Good morning. It's 10 o'clock. This will probably be a shorter video. Uh, I usually record between 4 and 6 in the morning, but today is just one of those days. I think this is a trend. I really do. I don't know what's going on. I don't really know why I am like having to reset and start the same drowsiness, the same fight over every morning. But I can tell you that if I recorded a video at the end of the night, what you'll see is that regardless of how I felt in the morning, I fight my way through it. And that fight looks different every single day. Today's fight went a little something like this. I woke up at four. No, my husband and I both woke up late this morning. So he was like, "Babe, it's 4:50." I'm like, "Okay." So he gets up. I doze back off. He's late for work already because he normally leaves at 4:50. On his way out the door, I say, "Turn the big light on," because he was trying to leave me in the dark. And I'm like, it's past time for me to get up. Last thing I need is to be left in the dark, especially I'm feeling so drowsy. So he turns the big light on. But that don't last long because within 20 minutes, I had that light off and I was asleep again. And I said, you know what? I've been going hard every day. And the funny thing is, I actually went to bed at 6:30 yesterday. I was asleep at 6:30. And now here it is, 4:30, 10 hours later, and I'm still like can't get enough sleep. If I just didn't have the work ethic I have, I would have definitely called out today. Anyways, so this conversation, so long story long, I didn't get out the bed until 8:30 when it was time for me. 8:28, I was like, okay, so it's time for me. I'm not calling out today. I made that up. Even in my dreams, I was praying because I have this thing sometimes where I feel really heavy. I know that it's the spirit that's laying on me that's making me heavy, and so I try to pray and fight. But I actually was praying in my dreams, and I had some dreams. I had some relevant dreams, and I'm gonna sit still and see if I can remember and record them and see if God will give me understanding of what they mean. But I get up at 8:30. So here's the point of this message today is sometimes we have a plan, right? We have a way our life flows every day. And when things happen and our plans and we can't follow the normal path of our plans, sometimes for some of us it leaves us, well, I won't even talk about you guys. I'll talk about the various stages of my journey. So there's times where I'm just like, oh, scrap it. I'll start tomorrow. Today just was a loss, right? I gave up the whole rest of the day because the beginning of the day didn't start right. I stopped doing that, right? I started just saying, okay, what can I do now? Where can I pick up now, right? Or sometimes, I start thinking about these really unrealistic goals I put on myself, which I've done my whole life. And then when I can't follow through with them, I'm really hard on myself. And then I talk myself out of continuing. The thing I really need you to understand is that the only person that can take you out is you. So you really have to monitor the thoughts and conversations in your mind. The world can come against you. You can have one bad thing happen after another, after another, after another. Been there. But the only thing that could truly take you out is you. You are the only thing that can take you out. So as long as you don't take yourself out, you're going to be in this thing. Now, you might be crawling through it. You may be running through it. You may be running through it with one arm. You may be injured. You may be battled, but God restores. Okay? So whatever injury you incurred going through the last battle, when you get into the new battle, God restores. It's like, I would say a chameleon, but I'm not really sure if they grow limbs back like a lizard. I know lizards grow their crap back, right? It's like a lizard. So God restores. So as you move into that next journey, that next phase, yeah. And when I say restores, he's going to give you everything you need to make it through the next stage and phase. Does it mean that you won't still feel the impact of the last blow? That is not what that means. It just means that you'll learn how to keep moving on in spite of it. And it won't be so heavy, but you'll always remember, right? And I think you're supposed to. I think you're supposed to because I think it's those things that help you get through the next phase. If you forget, then if you didn't carry it with you, then you won't remember what's in the tool set to get you through this phase, right? And so I used to look at it. as a piling up of energy. But now I look at it as if I'm in a warrior stance and I have these, like, think back like the old days where they were like Jane of the Jungle type stuff, and they had these packages on their back where they could pull their arrows out and shoot, right? And so the way I look at it as, I used to look at it as like one thing after another thing after another thing, but now I have different satchels on my back that I'm holding on to, that I'm carrying, and they're heavy. It's heavy, right? But I need to carry it with me. Even though it's heavy, I need to carry it with me because I never know which one of those satchels I'm going to have to go in, grab, boom, and take something out. But all the tools, all the skills that I need to defeat the giants ahead of me are in the satchels that I'm carrying behind me, right? And so I don't look at it like it's all just a bad thing anymore. It's not all a bad thing. It's not, right? So that's how I get through. That's that message. So today I got up at 8:30. I have my daily standards. It's about 30 things on that list. I start work at 8:30. I have this meeting that I have to prepare for, and I'm high up. I'm higher. I'm my work is intense, right? So I am, just know that is hard, right? It requires mental focus all day long, which is probably why I'm so tired. It's 10 different areas that I have to manage. It's a lot, right? So, and I work handicap. So when I mean I work handicap, it means that normally when you're trying to, and this is something else. I'm going to tell you this because I think this is encouraging. There are, in my role, right? Let's just say my fingers is the 5 things that we need to have success, right? So every other organization has determined that you give them these 5 things and they'll be successful. Well, for me, I don't have the main one that I need. So that's just gone completely, right? And then I'm short on resources. So we can leave that one. And then, scope is all crazy, right? The work, upfront work wasn't done. So that leaves me here. And, I don't really have, like, everything that I'm working with is handicapped, and they want success and they want answers and they want it as if it's all complete. Even though they know it's not, it doesn't matter. We got to still do the best we can with what we have. So, for those of us that have gone through traumatic life experiences, and we look at those things like, oh God, why me? Why no one else had to go through the things that I had to go through? My trauma started at 5 years old. My trauma started at 5 years old when this man walked in my room and stuck his right in my mouth. Okay, that was the beginning. 5 years old. Now I have one hell of a story. We all got stories. We all have trauma, but I can tell you that was not the end. That was only the beginning. Now, I'm 49 years old now, right? And when I tell you it felt like one thing after another thing after another thing, for some reason, I always wanted to live. I always wanted to run. I always wanted to try, and I never wanted to give up on me. And I never wanted to give up on me, and I wanted to love me because I felt like nobody else did, right? I wanted to give myself what I thought I deserved. I felt like my mother should have loved me better. I felt like my father should have showed up and loved me better. I feel like they should have protected me. I feel like they should have all of these things that they didn't have the tools. They didn't have the things to do. So for years, I held it against them. I don't anymore. I know today that they did the very best they could with what they had. They just didn't have enough, right? For me. But it doesn't matter because God will make sure that you get what you need, right? In this life. You just have to be open for it. So, and getting what you need doesn't feel good either. I'm gonna say that it doesn't feel good. But just like being a mom, I mean, if you're a great mom, a great dad, it doesn't always feel good when you have to disappoint your children and when you have to, they don't understand why they can't, right? It's just not a good feeling. So I feel like either way, I'm getting off track. I'm saying this to say I have had to trail through life handicapped. I have had to I had to make a dollar out of 15 cents so many times in my life. You know what I mean? That now I'm in an environment and it's handicap and it's second nature to me. I had someone say, they're setting me up for failure. We need this, we need that. We don't have this, we don't have that. And I'm looking like, yeah, that's the story of my life, girl. Like I've been rolling through situations like that my entire life. So yeah. So I'm saying that to say and now the way God has positioned me is awesome. And it's I cry. My job makes me cry probably every week. I mean, I could tell people that all day long. They'll look at me like a girl ain't crying. I'm crying. This job made me cry. Listen, because that's what growth feels like. Growth doesn't feel good, right? And so I'm laughing about it, but I'll probably be crying about it tomorrow night, right? But I just want to give you some encouragement that the trials and the tribulations and the obstacles and the traumas that you're enduring today is building something in you that is going to make you untouchable in the future. You know what I mean? You're going to be, it's building in you. So I'm going to say this, endure. That's all you got to do. People say, I don't know how to go through. Just endure. Don't drink it away. Don't smoke it away. Don't sleep it away. Don't party it away. Just allow yourself to feel it and get to the next day, and feel it and get to the next day. That's the requirement, endurance. Because sometimes it's all you can do is endure. Okay, I got 1 minute left to tell you how I plan to pick up this day that started off all messed up. That didn't start off and it's not going to go according to plan. I am 8:30. I didn't do any of my daily standards. I didn't do my morning motivation. I didn't do my professional development. I need to prepare for an interview. I need to get my work done. I got a big meeting coming up at 1 o'clock. My daughter is due any day now. So any minute I can get the call that I have to be at the hospital. If that happens, my house is not in order. My laundry ain't done. My groceries ain't in here. I need to get my house in order before this girl goes in labor. She's due. They just did a cervical sweep, so she's due any day now. So on my mind is all these things that I have to get done. There was a time that would have made me stop, and I would have just been so paralyzed by the sheer amount of responsibility sitting on my plate. I asked God for capacity, and the way he gives it to you is really, really crazy. Be careful what you ask for, because it don't always come in a pretty package, but you get exactly what it is that you need, right? So what I'm doing, I don't normally take work set break. I'm taking breaks. I'm taking work set break today. I stopped. I started at 8:30. I've taken 2 breaks, maybe 5-minute breaks. I go, what can I do? What can I check off on my daily standards? I'm knocking them off 2 things at a time. I'm taking a break. Every 30 minutes I'm working. I'm preparing for this interview. Taking my notes, trying to figure out what these people really want from me so that I can properly communicate with them, and let them know that I'm the best fit for their company, right? And I can come in and I can add value and I know things, right? I'm over. I'm 13 minutes and 42 seconds. So I hope that you have an amazing day. I hope that wherever you started, don't let that be the end of the story. You still have the pen. Write the rest of your day, regardless of how you feel. Write it based on how you feel. Bye.